Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Yeah.
So this time you guys wanted us to dig into this idea of a local side and a meta side of reality.
Right. Yeah.
And the source material you sent in uses the Heart Sutra as a way to explore that.
And it does it in a pretty unique way, too.
Yeah, and I think that's what caught your attention too, right? It
Yeah.
approaches it as like a...
Yeah. Like a sales pitch. Yeah.
A sales pitch, like,
Buddha's the ultimate marketer.
Yeah, Buddha's trying to sell us on enlightenment.
Exactly. So before we jump into all of that, I think it's helpful to make sure we're all on the same page about what we're actually trying to understand here.
Right.
So the listener really wants to understand these core concepts, the local side and the meta side, and how they relate to our experience.
I think this is a great way to get at that.
Okay, so let's do it. So first of all, the source material breaks the Heart Sutra down into a 6-part structure.
Okay.
Illusion dual structure, meta-side perspective, shift, praise, and mantra. And each part kind of plays a role in this whole sales pitch idea. I mean, they all have traditional interpretations too, of course.
Right, exactly.
But this source is taking kind of a different spin on them.
It's like a fresh take.
Yeah, like a remix.
I love that. Okay, so now we've got to talk about what's actually being sold here, right? Enlightenment. But to get to that, we need to understand these two sides of reality.
Yeah.
The local side and the meta side.
Okay.
So the source uses this concept of the 5 skandhas.
Okay.
Do you want to quickly run through those?
Yeah, sure. So those are form, sensation, perception, mental formations, and consciousness.
And they kind of relate to this local and meta side thing in a specific way, right?
Yeah, so form is the physical world, the local side, and then the other 4 all relate to how our mind processes information, which leads us towards the meta side.
I see. So like everything we're perceiving through our senses is kind of leading us to the meta side?
Yeah, it's all being processed and filtered.
Okay, so to make it even more concrete, the source uses this analogy of a DVD.
Oh, okay.
So the physical DVD is the local side.
And the movie, the data on the DVD is the meta side.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a good one, right?
Yeah, it really is.
So you're holding the DVD, but the actual movie is the information.
Right, and that's kind of like Plato's theory of forms, too.
Oh, yeah, explain that.
Well, Plato thought that the physical world was just a shadow of a more perfect world.
Oh, wow.
So it's like...
So there's this deeper level.
This deeper reality that's hidden.
Underneath.
Right.
Whoa, okay, and that brings us to this whole idea of the meta side itself.
Yeah.
So the source is saying that the Heart Sutra describes the meta side as like unborn, undying. Not decreasing. Basically free from all the limitations that we experience here in the physical world.
That's a big claim.
It is, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like stepping outside of the matrix or something.
I mean, our understanding of reality is always changing, right?
That's true.
So who knows what else is out there?
Yeah, good point. So it's like the meta side is like the ultimate frontier.
Yeah. Waiting to be explored.
And the Heart Sutra might be a map.
Whoa. Okay, before we jump into that,
I
think we should pause here for a second.
Sure.
We've covered a lot of ground already.
We have.
What are your initial thoughts so far?
Well, I'm really struck by how this is making us question our assumptions about reality.
For sure.
We tend to just accept that the local side is all there is.
Right.
But what if it's not?
That's the big question.
Yeah.
Its whole idea of the local side and the meta side, it's pretty mind-blowing.
It is. Yeah, it really makes you think, like, what if there's this whole other dimension of reality that we're just not tuned into?
Right. But if it's unborn, undying, not decreasing, doesn't that mean it's kind of static?
That's where I think our local side thinking kind of trips us up.
Okay.
We're so used to thinking of reality as this constant flow of change.
Right, everything's always changing.
Birth, growth, decay, death. But the meta side is like, it's unchanging in its essence. But it holds the potential for infinite possibilities.
Oh, I see. So it's like the seed of a tree.
Okay.
The seed itself is tiny.
Right.
But it contains the blueprint for a whole massive oak tree.
Exactly. It's like the source code.
Whoa, okay.
The fundamental blueprint of reality.
And that can generate like infinite variations.
Exactly like a video game,
Oh, that's a good analogy.
You have the same source code, but you can have so many different experiences.
I'm starting to get it. So how do we actually get to this meta side?
Well, the source talks about H meditation as being the key.
H meditation.
So it's like this practice.
Okay.
It's not like a password or anything. It's more like training your mind to perceive beyond the local side.
So like
cultivating a deeper awareness.
Okay, so it's not just like a one-time thing?
No. It's an ongoing process.
It's like an ongoing thing.
Yeah, you're refining your awareness.
Got it.
And Heart Sutra actually goes even deeper than that.
Oh.
It says that on the meta side, even the concepts we use to understand reality,
Okay.
things like the 6 consciousnesses, the 12 links of dependent origination, even the 4 noble truths, they're all empty.
Wait, empty?
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean meaningless?
Not exactly. In Buddhism, empty doesn't mean nothingness.
Okay.
It means lack of inherent existence.
Trying to wrap my head around that.
Think of it like this when you were a kid.
Yeah.
You probably used training wheels to learn how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
And those training wheels were helpful at first, but eventually you outgrew them.
Right.
It's kind of like that.
So they're saying that these Buddhist teachings are like training wheels.
Yeah.
They're helpful at first, but then
But to really experience freedom.
you got to let them go.
Exactly.
Okay, I see. So we let go of all these concepts, but then how do we make sense of anything?
Well, the Heart Sutra is pointing to a reality that goes beyond all concepts and categories.
So it's like we need a different way of understanding.
Right. It's not about intellectual understanding.
Okay.
It's about direct experience.
And how do we get to that direct experience?
Through HN meditation.
Okay.
It's about cultivating the awareness that allows you to experience reality without the filter of your preconceived notions.
So it's like we're trading in our tourist guidebook for a pair of hiking boots and actually going out there.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is all super fascinating, but I have to ask.
Yeah.
What about those of us who aren't Buddhist monks? You know,
right.
Does any of this actually apply to our everyday lives?
That's a great question, and that's where the source gets really interesting.
Okay.
It connects these meta-side experiences to things we encounter every day.
Yeah.
Like moments of awe in nature,
Yeah.
profound connection with another person,
Uh-huh.
or even that flow state athletes experience.
Like being in the zone.
Exactly.
So you're saying that those moments are like
They're like glimpses of the meta-side.
the sneak peeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Behind the curtain.
And those moments can be incredibly powerful.
You can.
They're like flashes of insight,
Yeah.
showing you there's something more.
Okay, so the source is saying that those glimpses are pointing to something bigger.
Yeah, they're pointing to what the Heart Sutra calls enlightenment.
And that's not about escaping reality.
No, it's about seeing reality in a new light.
So it's not about rejecting the local side.
Right.
It's about expanding our awareness to include the meta side.
Exactly. It's like seeing the world in HD instead of standard def.
I love that.
Yeah.
So that brings us to another interesting point.
Okay.
The mantra.
Oh, yeah.
Gate. Gate paragate.
That iconic chant.
What does that have to do with all this?
Well, the source says that the mantra isn't just some random collection of syllables. It's actually a powerful tool. It's like a sonic key that can help unlock a different way of perceiving reality.
So it's like a sonic key to the meta side.
And it's traditionally interpreted as gone, gone, gone beyond, gone altogether beyond awakening hail.
So it's like a journey.
It is.
From the local side to the meta side.
Exactly.
Through sound.
Through sound vibration.
Okay, I'm with you. So it's not just about chanting the words.
No.
It's about embodying them.
Exactly.
Aligning your whole being with that energy.
I like that. And the source also points out how the Heart Sutra ends with this really encouraging message.
It does.
Saying that enlightenment is possible.
Yeah, it's saying that we all have the potential to wake up.
To wake up.
Yeah, to the true nature of reality.
That's pretty powerful.
It is.
It's like an invitation to step into a whole new dimension of experience.
Yeah, like upgrading your operating system.
Right. Okay, so on that note, I think we've done a pretty good job of unpacking this whole local side, meta side thing.
I think so.
So we've talked about the Heart Sutra as a sales pitch.
Right.
The 5 skibas.
Yeah.
H meditation.
And the mantra.
It's a lot to take in.
It is.
But I think it's really thought-provoking.
It is for sure.
It makes you question everything.
It really does.
Yeah, it really does make you wonder, like, what else is possible?
Right. And how much more is there to discover?
And how do we access it?
Exactly. So the source seems to suggest that the Heart Sutra is actually offering us a way to do that.
Mm-hmm. A path to the meta side.
Yeah, but if the meta side is supposed to be like beyond concepts and categories, then how can there be a path to it?
It's kind of a paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
But maybe it's pointing to something that can be experienced but not fully understood, like trying to explain the taste of chocolate to someone who's never tasted it.
Oh, I like that.
You can use words, but they only go so far.
Right, so the Heart Sutra is more like pointing at the moon rather than being the moon itself.
Exactly. The words, the teachings, the practices, they're all just tools.
Tools.
To help us shift our perspective.
Open ourselves up.
Yeah, to a new way of experiencing reality.
But the meta side is something that we have to discover for ourselves.
Ultimately, yes.
Okay, so what about the mantra then?
The gate, pair, gate.
Yeah, that one.
The source really emphasizes how important it is as a tool for accessing the meta side.
But how does just chanting those words actually work?
Well, the source doesn't get too specific.
Right.
But it suggests that the mantra is more than just a nice-sounding chant.
Okay.
It's a sonic vibration that can help shift our consciousness.
Oh, so it's like...
almost like how certain musical tones can evoke specific emotions.
Like a tuning fork.
Yeah, like a tuning fork for our awareness, helping us resonate with that meta-side frequency.
And the traditional interpretation kind of supports that idea, too.
Yeah, gone beyond. Gone altogether beyond awakening hail.
It's like a journey.
It is a journey.
From the local to the meta.
Through sound.
Through sound.
Right.
Whoa, okay, so it's not just about chanting the words.
Right.
It's about embodying them. And I think that's where meditation comes in.
Yeah, the source talks about HN meditation as being essential for really hearing the message of the mantra.
So it's about cultivating that stillness.
Yes, the stillness and the clarity.
To really hear it.
To feel its power.
Like creating a space.
Yes, a quiet space within.
Where we can actually tune in.
To those subtler frequencies.
I love that. And what's so beautiful is that the Heart Sutra ends with this really hopeful message.
It does.
Saying that awakening is possible for anyone.
Yeah, it's not just for monks in caves.
Exactly. It's like we all have the potential to become explorers of consciousness.
That's a great way to put it.
Adventurers in the realm of the meta side.
Who knows what we'll find.
I know, right? It's like we've been given a treasure map.
And now it's up to us to follow it.
That's a perfect way to end this deep dive.
I agree.
It's been an incredible journey exploring the local side and the meta side through the lens of the Heart Sutra.
So much to think about.
It's a lot to ponder.
And maybe even put into practice.
Exactly. So thank you all for joining us on this deep dive into the Heart Sutra, the local side and the meta side.
It's been a pleasure.
And remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Or in this case, maybe a single breath.
Maybe a single moment of awareness.
Thanks for listening. And keep diving deep.